Hi, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Okay, so today we will present about the informative speech for subject ELC 590. Okay, English for oral presentation. Okay, so first of all, our members. Okay, for my name is Muhammad Nur Aiman bin Ismail. Okay, Muhammad Hadi bin Sugiman, Sheikh Muhammad Fazli bin S. Abdul Hadi, and last is Muhammad Alif Najmi bin Syahrin. So I hope you guys enjoy and understand about it. Let's go. Okay, Assalamualaikum. My name is Muhammad Nur Aiman bin Ismail. So I will talk about the types of informative speech. Okay, so first of all, informative speech has 4 types. First is definition, explanatory, descriptive, and demonstrative. Okay, for the definition is explain the meaning, theory, or philosophy of a specific topic that the audience likely does not know much about it. Okay, so the topic may be general, such as about the sport, or highly specific, such as about the background of the particular person. Okay, so the goal of this speech is to educate the audience so that they understand the point of this topic. Okay, so next is explanatory. Explanatory is a description of the state of a given topic. So as an example, consider the type of speech that are given at industry conference. So the goal for the speaker to inform the audience on a particular part of an industry. Okay, so these explanatories are always used on the for the media, such as the celebrity, the conference about their hot news, such as about the gossip, such as like that. Okay, so the third is descriptive. Descriptive is create a vivid picture in a person's mind regarding an object, person, animal, or place. Okay, for example is you found an accident and then you describe about the accident to the other person. Okay, so that is descriptive. Okay, you can see an archaeologist who has discovered a new temple in South America, or a paleontologist who believe they have found a new dinosaur may use a descriptive speech to inform an interested topic to their audience. Okay, so your descriptive is suitable for you to describe something to the audience. So next is demonstrative. Demonstrative is you explain how to do something to the audience. So for example, like a lecture class or tutorial class, you need to use a visual example that show the audience how to move from step to step through a particular activity. So you demonstrate in front of the audience, so the audience will more understand. Okay, so next is the purpose of presenting informative speech using data and chart. Okay, first is easier to understand. When you use the data and chart, it will be more easier for the audience to understand the topic. Okay, they can see the numbers that stated in the chart and data. Okay, so next is the evidence to the fact. Okay, so when you state the fact, the data and chart will be the evidence for the fact. Okay, and next is engaging the audience. Okay, by use the data and chart, it can engaging the audience, so the audience will be not bored and enjoy the speech. Okay, next I will explain about how to write an informative speech. Okay, so as you can see in the slide, this is the speech outline for the informative speech. First, you need the introduction, paragraph, and conclusion. So for the introduction, you need to greeting and take attention, grabbing hold the audience. Okay, and then start to introduction of the subject and say a little bit of the thesis statement, credibility statement, and the preview of the main points before start the point. Okay, so after that you can go to the body graph. On the body paragraph, you can state the point, present the supporting for the point, and then evidence, and transition to the next one. Okay, you can put at least 3 points in your speech, at least 3 points. So last, for the conclusion, you summary the point discussed and restate the thesis in the introduction, and a call to action, and last, thanks to the audience. Okay, this is the example of informative speech online. Okay, as you can see, like I said before, on the introduction you need the attention material, the motivation material to audience, the thesis, the overview about the topic, the transition to the main point. Okay, so on the point you state at least 3 about the topic, and then go to the transition on the point to the other point, and then you can see on the conclusion, the underview, the last talk about the topic you talk. Okay, so the example you can see, that's all.
Okay, first of all, what is public speaking? Public speaking is a person who talks in front of a large crowd of people in an organized way. It purposely to give an information, to influence, persuade, and also entertain the listeners. And public speaking is a way of communicating information with a large crowd of people. What makes the public speaking different is how the information is conveyed, and the information that given to the audience. That is a public speaking. Next is do and don'ts in public speaking. Firstly is do. You must speak loudly because you must make sure your back row's audience hear your voice. Then you must not fidget nervously in front of your audience because you must make sure your audience can see you are nervous. Next one, what you must do in a public speaking is you must define and explain every term that may not be familiar to your audience, because remember, they are not probably all from the same specialty as you are. And what you must do not do is you must not end a sentence with okay or right, because it makes you look unconfident with your information and your facts. And what you must do in a public speaking is you must remember that the sentence of I don't know is a perfectly answer when you don't have enough information or enough facts to answer the question from your audience, because you must not give the wrong information. And lastly, what you must do not do when you in a public speaking is don't hold a private conversation with the questioner in the front row. Meaning that when the audience in the front row are asking you question, you must make sure everyone know what is this question is. Repeat it if necessary, and you must make sure everyone hear and understand the answer. Now, the type of public speaking. Public speaking has 4 types. The first one is ceremonial speaking. It is a speeches that mark a special occasion, such as funerals, weddings, and also graduation. The second one is demonstrative speaking. This type of public speaking require the ability to speak clearly and describe the action and also perform the action while speaking. As example, the speaker want to tell or give the information or facts about how to use a oven, and he must also know how to perform and how to use the oven. this type of public speaking, the objective of this public speaking is to make sure the audience left with the knowledge to how how to do it. The third one is informative speaking. With the informative speaking, the speaker is trying to explain a simple concept to the audience member. The speaker is not trying to get the audience member to agree with him or to show them how to do something for themselves. And the speaker is usually from the college as a lecturer. Next one, the persuasive speaking. The objective in this type of public speaking is to attract people and make people have faith on you. It is usually used by the politician and lawyers, and the speeches use a strong language and emotional appeals.
Assalamualaikum, my name is Muhammad Alif Najmi bin Sharin. So right now I will present about types of attention getter, purpose of attention getter, and preview of attention getter. So firstly, we got anecdote. So what is anecdote? An anecdote is a short story about real person or event, usually serving to make audience laugh or ponder over a topic. So secondly, rhetorical question. Raising a question to open a speech, you will generally use a rhetorical question, the kind you don't expect an answer to. So using just one or two questions, it is actually not enough. It is best use a series of questions it used by themselves. So number 3, humor. So humor handled well can be a wonderful attention getter. It can help relax your audience and win their goodwill for the rest of the speech. So humor can be used in many circumstances and many topics. So number 4, startling facts or statistic. One method of introducing a speech is the use of a series of startling fact or statistics. So startling an audience with the extent of a situation or problem will invariably retain their attention as well. Audience will motivate them to listen further. Okay, so number 5, quotation. Quotation using an appropriate quotation to introduce a speech is a common practice. Often a past writer or speaker has expressed an opinion on your topic that is more authoritative, comprehensive, or better stated than what you can say. So the last one is curiosity. There's a psychological phenomenon you can use effectively called the curiosity gap, which is the gap between something a person knows and something he or she wants to know. So it's more like it's possible to provoke that feeling by providing just a bit of information, like you give a little bit of information, then the audience will curious to know more about the information. So next, I will present about attention getter, credentials, creating credibility, preview. So the first one, attention getter. As you know by now, a good introduction will capture on audience attention. So the first impression is very important. So these 4 things is important to get the attention from the audience. So appropriateness or relevance to audience, purpose of speech, topic and occasion. So the next one is credentials. audience will trust you more readily if you can prove that other people value your expertise. Credentials include relevant degrees, certifications, testimonials, recommendation, work experience, volunteering experience, and informally other types of personal experience. So if you have more experience, then the audience will more trust on you and will hear what you say during the speech. And then creating credibility. First impression are hard to overcome, and audience will begin judging you before you even have a chance to introduce yourself. If audience don't trust you, they will listen to you. Yeah, that's what I said just now. First impression is very important. So if you wear bad clothes or your dress up is not good, so the audience will not interested to hear speech from you. So you must take care of your lookings. So next, okay, what is informative speech? So an informative speech is one that intends to educate the audience on a particular topic. There are many different types of informative speeches, including speeches that describe the condition of a subject and speeches that instruct the audience on how to perform an action. Thank you.
Hi, Assalamualaikum. My name is Syekh Muhammad Fazil S. Abdul Hadi. So I will explain to you guys about organizational patterns of information speech. So there are 7 of them. First is chronological, second is process, third is cause effect, fourth is topical, fifth is problem solution, sixth is spatial, and 7 is biographical. So for the chronological speech pattern place the main idea in the time order which items appear, whether backward or forward. So as example, to inform the audience about the book written by someone. That is chronological pattern. So we move to the process pattern. Process pattern is an informative speech about a process, then describe how something is made, done, or works. Okay, that is process pattern. So move to the cause effect pattern. The cause effect patterns is used to explain about cause and effects relationship. As example, to inform the audience about the problem associated with nature nowadays. Now we move to the topical patterns. The topical pattern is the most common patterns for organizing a speech by categories or topics. The categories as a way to help the speakers to organize the message in a consistent fashion. As example, to persuade a group of high school juniors to apply to attend to generic university. Next, we move to the problem solution pattern. So in this pattern basically describe about a problem, identify what you believe, what is causing the problem, and then recommend the solution to correct the problem. As example, to persuade a civic group to support a citywide curfew for individuals under the age of 18. Okay, that is problem solution pattern. Now we move to the spatial pattern. The spatial pattern is the spatial speech patterns organized according to how things fit together in physical space. So as example, to inform a group of history students about the states that seceded from the United States during the Civil War. And next and lastly is the biographical pattern. The biographical pattern is generally used when a speaker wants to describe a person's life, either a speaker's own life, or someone they know personally, or the life of a famous person. So as example, to inform the audience about the early life of Michael Jackson. So that is the 7 organizational patterns. Okay, now so we move to the common vocabulary used in informative speech. So vocabulary refers to all of the words that we know. Actually, the speakers often talk about receptive and expressive vocabulary. Expressive vocabulary or expressive language refers to anything they say or the words they use. Receptive vocabulary or receptive language refers to the words and that you understand. And then we move to the language used to describe charts and graph in informative speech. So as you can see in the slide, there are several of them. So the meaning of that is there are so many different types of charts, diagrams and graph that it becomes difficult to choose the right one. The chart options in your spreadsheet program can also greatly puzzle. The language necessary for describing, analyzing and evaluating graph with a guided practice. So in the slideshow there are several of them, which is up, down, up and down, same, change, changes, top, bottom and many more. Lastly, for the transitional words, transitional words or the other name is transition words. Okay, transition words are words that help connect or link ideas, phrase, sentence or paragraphs. Transition words can be used to show additions. Sometimes you may want to add on to an idea you have already expressed, and transitions of additions can help you add ideas or information. And the example of transition words is, as I stated in the slide, there are 10 of them. The first one is and, the second one is in addition to, furthermore, moreover, besides, then, also, another, equally important, first, second and etc. Okay, so for the example sentences for transitional words is also, I have to stop at the store on the way home. And the second one is, I can go there but not without you. Okay, so that is all from me. Thank you.